friends, I am here to do a share of the cards that I made this month using some of the supplies in my craft closet that have either never been used or have not been used in a long time. So do you have stencils and metal dies and stamp sets that you have never utilized or that you haven't used in a long time and you want to begin using them? Melanie from A Creatively Crafted Life and I are doing a collaboration this year, and we will publish a video at the first of each month to show you what dusty dies and stencils and mixed media products we have pulled out and what we have created from them. And so I will link down below Melanie's channel, A Creatively Crafted Life, and she also has a Facebook page with the same name, and go on over there and you will find lots of inspiration for creating cards and layouts and organizing your space. This is the first card I have to share with you today, and I wanted to challenge myself to create a card using a stencil and some texture paste or a glimmer paste. And so the first thing that I did is I took a piece of white cardstock and I ink blended with 3 different Distress Oxide inks to create this blue background. Ink blending is something that I haven't done very much of, and I really wanted to practice and try it, and that's one of my goals this year, is to get better at using my mixed media products. And then I took the snowflake stencil and I stenciled in these large and medium-sized snowflakes, and then I put a little bit of glitter paste on top of them to give them some sparkle and shine, because snowflakes sparkle and shine. And the last thing I did is I stamped a bunch of sentiments. I took the stamps and I went a little stamp crazy and created lots and lots of sentiments that I can use on cards or my scrapbook layouts. And so this one here, Warm Winter Wishes, I stamped it and then I fussy cut it out and I put it up on foam so that it creates some dimension on the card. All the other things that I stamped, I will be using them in other cards, and I will be using them on my layouts this month. I have found that if I want to create a card or I want to create a layout, I don't always want to take the time to pull out the mixed media products, create the background, do the stenciling, and then stamp out the sentiment and adhere it to the card. Same thing with the scrapbook layout. I want those sentiments and those embellishments already done. And then I will be likely to utilize my stamps and my dies and mixed media. And so my goal this year is to start to incorporate that into some of my crafty time. The second card I created, I first took all my different snowflakes from various stamp sets and I created this pattern paper background. So I took the stamps, these snowflake stamps of various sizes, large and medium and small, and several colors, and I stamped the background image. I stamped the big size and then the medium and then the small. This is something I have never really done before, and I really wanted to try it out, and I really want to get better at it as I go through the year. So that is the first thing that I did to create this card. And then this Winter Hello is one of the embellishments, or pardon me, one of the sentiments that I had created. And so I fussy cut it and put it up on foam. And I found some snowflakes that were die cut and or punched and put them on the card. And then this Olaf here was a gift from my good friend Roni Sue. Now, if you have never been to Roni Sue's channel, it's Roni Sue Scrapper, and I will try to link it below. She takes punches and oval and circle punches, and she creates these amazing embellishments like this Olaf that she gifted to me. So if you've never seen her create, go on over to her channel and you will be amazed at what she can do with a bunch of punches. The other cards I created this month, I took some paper from my winter paper stash and created the backgrounds of these cards. There's 2 of each. This card says Winter Hello, and it's just a card to send to family or friends and say hello. And this one says Warm Winter Wishes, and inside there is a happy birthday. So I created it to send to a couple of my family members that have birthdays this month. And so you can see that mostly what I did is I created the background, and then I took some of my stamped snowflakes and sentiments, and I put them up on foam and put them on the cards. And how many times can I say and? I'm just not going to start this video over. I've done it a couple times. I just wanted to share with you what I have done, and I've used a lot of these snowflakes and a lot of the sentiments that I stamped this month, because I went a little crazy and did a whole pile that they are now ready to create on layouts, and later this month I will show you some of the layouts I created from those stamp sets. This year is going to be about learning, and I wanted to share with you, in case you're a novice at stamping like I am, one of the first things that I learned this year is I had this stamp set, and I really liked the images. They're very cute. They kind of show you how to color them. And I thought, oh, wow, I would like to create some of them for cards or for my layouts. And the mistake I made is I took my VersaFine ink. I only have 2 black inks. I have a Distress Oxide ink and this VersaFine ink, which is a pigment ink. Well, I really did not know. I guess this is called learning, which is great. I learned it very quickly in the first month. That VersaFine ink and my alcohol markers, I have some Spectrum Noir markers, that they don't work well together. That the alcohol ink will cause the VersaFine ink, pigment ink, to kind of bleed into the image. No matter how careful I was. And so I wasn't able to color the images. I stamped quite a few of them with my alcohol markers. So instead what I did, you can see here, I went to my colored pencils. I went old school, and all the images that I've stamped, I'm not going to waste them. I will just use my colored pencils and color them in. I can still use this on a card, or I can still use this on a scrapbook page. So this was a good learning lesson for me. Do you have stamp sets like this in your stash? Well, I do, and I've never utilized it before. And this month, as I was creating, I thought, oh, let me see if I can use this stamp set and figure out how to use it. Well, my first attempt, you can see here, let me move this over so you can see it a little bit better. I thought that this solid image would fit in the outline, and I discovered it doesn't fit very well, or you have to do some better placements. And so I need to kind of work with that. And then I stamped out the arm and realized, well, you have to position it well so you can get the scarf on there, and it didn't quite touch the snowman's body, so I need to get a little bit better at that. And then I stamped the scarf and hat over top of the snowman, and I didn't really like how it came out. And so my next attempt at utilizing this stamp set was this little guy. And all I did was I stamped the solid body image and put the lumps of coal and did the face and the arms, and I fussy cut it out, and I stamped the scarf and hat separately, and then I glued it all together and I put it up on some foam, and it is ready to either go on a card or a scrapbook layout. I'm not extremely happy with it. I think the colors could be better. I think I need to do more research on how to use a stamp set like this, because there's a lot of different scarves and hats and faces, and I'm really not sure how to use it. So I need to figure out how to research this better and how to use something like this. And that is one of my goals for this year. And this is the last stamp set I have to show you, my friends. I really like the idea of the stamp set. You got some skaters and you got a pond and you got like a little bench and some trees and some snowflakes, and it says skating by to say hello and winter wishes. And I thought, okay, that will make a nice card. Or you could make a scrapbook embellishment by having the skaters skating on the pond. But I really don't know how to utilize this. And so one of my goals this year is to take a stamp set like this and to do some research, watch some videos, go to some web pages, and to learn how to use something like this. And so, my friends, my thoughts for you are, do you have dusty stamp sets, or do you have metal dies or stencils or mixed media that you really haven't used, or you haven't used it in a long time? So if you do and you want to join us this year, Melanie and I, as we do a stash revival, and we are pulling out these things and starting to use them and seeing how we can incorporate them more into our daily creating. If you want to join us, Melanie has a Facebook page called A Creatively Crafted Life. Go on over there and join her page and share what you are doing in the month of January. And share it with us so that we can see what you've been inspired to create. And maybe you can give me some tips on utilizing these stamp sets. That would be greatly appreciated also. I know Melanie is much more proficient at utilizing these. And so, my friends, I want to thank you for joining in. I want to thank you for your time. And I hope that Melanie and I both inspire you. And we will be back on February 1st with our next installment of a Stash Revival. Happy crafting, my friends.